you talk about childhood, the person that I remember very clearly is my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only person that I can remember because he has so much of impact on me, on who I am as well. He is a very well-educated man. He was a doctor, and he loves me so much, of course, and I love him so much. Every single thing I do, I will definitely let him know, and I need him all the time around me. And I love him so much. He is well-mannered person, a very disciplined person who practices yoga every day till the day he passed away at the age of 74. And a lot of my character, or probably my behavior, has a lot to do with my grandpa. I love to write diaries because I saw him write diaries.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I learned from him as well, how to write diary. And the only person that I talk to is my grandpa.
That's
And
lovely.
ever since he passed away, I only write diaries because I feel that someone is listening, my grandpa is listening. That much
Mm-hmm.
of impact he had in my life. And I love his politeness. I love the way he interacts with people. I love his generosity. I love the way he has good discipline in his food, in his health. I love that. So I think a lot of things that I learned from him. Yeah. And when you say childhood, that's the only thing that I remember.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful, Kasthuri. And thank you so much for sharing this this lovely, lovely message. And going back to how you mentioned, how you feel you're still connected with your grandfather, through your journaling and your inputs into your diary. That's absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much, Kasthuri, for sharing that. Charu, tell us one experience from your childhood which you have fond memories of.
So, the person who comes in my mind is my father, who is no more
Mm-hmm.
now. The occasions when we used to sit together and he used to share some philosophy or the way Kasthuri was sharing about her grandfather, my father was just like him.
Mm-hmm.
Helping people, leading disciplined life and talking about all the positive aspects of life. And I really replicate, my family always shares that the values which I carry, I have got from my father, and he was inspiration to me always. And I miss him every day. So yes, those days, special days, because we were not, fathers don't speak much, and there were very few occasions in life when he used to sit and talk about life, what is life exactly. Those things are always fresh in my mind, and I always remember that. What's important in life? What should be given? He always told me in those days, Charu, never take so many loans in life forever after getting married in life. I thought, why he's telling me like that? What's loan with life? Then he talk about all those material aspects and what's important in life. If you focus on money only, where you will be going. But if you focus on value, where you will be going. So now I realize what he spoke was so true. And I every day say thank to that he has done that upbringing to me, that I know what's important in life. I can lead life like that. So I am grateful to him forever.
That's fantastic. I mean, there's so much sage advice and golden nuggets of information, as well as thoughts that we can actually imbibe from people who are around us. And it's so important. We just have to keep an open mind, right? And thank you so much for sharing that with us, Charu. And Ms. Suchi, please share with us a moment from your childhood which you hold very fondly in your heart.
My childhood memories are connected with my mother, who left us 7 years back. After her demise, after her death, the transformation happened, and I became the person who I am today. But I believe in when a person drops his or her physical body, you don't need to cry, mourn for like ages and ignore and neglect the people who are alive. But you can continue having that person in you and continue to do things which he or she might have done, right? So what my mother wanted to do in her life, but she couldn't do, I am doing that and keeping her alive in me. So my memories are all connected with my mother, how beautifully she attended to my father, who was authoritarian and very disciplined person, and how beautifully she raised us. And she did so subtly, like not boasting about and not telling about how great she is, but just did her role so well that all of us are independent emotionally, and I am doing what I'm doing in life is because how she raised me. So my childhood memories are all connected with my mother. How she, what are the little things she did to very subtly impart those values in us, which I am carrying forward for her.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm sure your mother is very, very proud of you, of what you're doing for so many people around you.
Yeah. She's with me in spirit, with all of
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely.
I can exhale. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ms. Suchi. Very, very powerful. Puja, we'd love to know of who brings back fond memories, or any situation that brings back fond memories from your childhood.
So Yusuf, if I'm there has to be three things, right?
Absolutely. The Holy Trinity of Puja Thalesara. So yes.
Okay, so this time for a change, let me not bring in three things, but there are certain themes. So it is my dad. So I'm getting a bit, even when I'm saying it, it's giving me a little bit goosebumps or that emotional feel. So it is my dad. The very fact that I saw him like coming, I'm living behind. We came from a joint family in Nathdwara, very, very well settled and everything. Pursuing his path or his purpose, he left that and he started right from scratch. It was really very difficult, and it is really courageous when you have to leave everything, and get used to a life which you have never been experienced in past. Moving from such a big lavish bungalow to like 1 BHK, and then building in your own so-called business and everything. So when I saw him each day taking those challenges with so much of peace in mind, and he used to always say that, which, when I was talking to you, I did mention one of the day, that turning your adversities into advantage is something. So that's what he taught me, and that's a learning which has stayed with me and which has really helped me each day to move closer to my purpose. So turning everyday challenges, because challenges would be there would be adversities, but how do you make those into your advantage? Because
Absolutely.
there are seasons when there are highs and lows, but even those seasons, there is a reason still to smile because of a blessing somewhere which is there, which we don't look on that. So that is one. And second is so this is a theme of like adversities into advantage. And second theme is I was a big prankster during my school time.